get her to drop the new link? Or Tony, you drop it.
It's Mom's.
No, drop it in the old link. That's what people are waiting for.
It says no sound.
I got it.
Okay.
Everybody in the chat saying no sound.
Could it be
Satan? Maybe. Who knows? What the hell?
Locomotion. I just got chewed out by YouTube.
Who got chewed out by YouTube?
Into the
Locomotion in the chat.
we creep.
Where's the new one, Tony? What is it called?
Part 2.
I don't see a new one.
Get a job!
Oh, here it is. I see it. Okay.
All right, we're good on sound too.
Okay. At least I can.
Sorry, guys, for the interruption. This is why we use code names.
That's why we have to use code names, you guys. Even when you call in and you're reading an article, you have to use Dinky. You can't use his name. We have 1,000 nicknames for him, so don't.
I think the name that was used was not Dinky. It was the use
Elmo's?
of Elmo.
Well, Elmo and Dinky. Okay, so that's who they are now. No, Tony, that never happened.
I will not. I will do it for the sake of this show, but in my own private world, fuck them. Let them try to arrest me for my speech. I'll freaking go down.
Yeah.
I'm not going to freaking. I will for the sake of this show, but that's the only.
When Benny and I did a show and Spy and Wizzy and Mizzy were when Mizzy was sick and you guys were here, it was just me and Benny. I tried an experiment. I don't know if you guys remember, but I would talk about whatever's going on and I would use Dinky and I would use all the other words. And then I would start screaming and I would use the real name and boom, it was buffering. Immediately. I tested it out like 3 times during the show. It happened every single solitary time I used the real names. Okay, so you guys are starting to get a picture of why we're not leaving, but we gotta,
There's your fucking censorship for you.
Right.
It's total censorship. And we were talking about, Kathy's in.
Talking about pedophilia.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we're gonna have
but
to.
don't say it again.
We're gonna have to.
You're gonna say
start
like
using,
kid diddlers.
Or P3DOs. We'll have to use TikTok friendly language from here on out.
Yeah.
P3DOs. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Well,
P3DOs.
because a 3.
I know.
Is an E backwards.
I know.
No.
Hey, Benny's in the chat.
Does she get a link?
That was just a little too fucking weird.
Did Benny get a link? Oh, it wasn't weird at all. It was expected.
No, it's funny. Funny how it's never happened
Funny how
before.
that's the nerve we hit. Funny how that's the nerve we hit.
So everybody hit the thumbs up.
Yeah,
hit the thumbs up. Share it out.
Like, subscribe, and share.
Like, subscribe, share. Also, you guys remember, when we're talking about these things, we're not pulling it out of our ass. We pulled it off of court papers from 92, 3, around there, down in Florida.
Miami. Yeah.
These aren't just shooting. These are settlements that Dinky paid to the parents of children that were assaulted.
Public record.
And
we
haven't even brought that up. We haven't even brought that up in a long time. But the thing is that we can't even say names on our channel when we're just
of the people
who are doing this. You guys know who we're talking about, but all of a sudden we start buffering. No, it happened the other day, and you goddamn know it. And your computer shut down. No, 5 eggs. I'm gonna have to fucking disagree with you. Because
Naughty.
this has never happened during a show, except for when the power went out.
So I had to explain to my husband the other day that there are AI bots on every social media platform.
Oh, yeah.
He was interacting with people on Facebook, and his posts were instantly disappearing. And he's like, I don't know what happened. I didn't post anything, you know, da, da, da. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. This is the way they're going to censor people from here on out. It's going to be done by bots. And you see it over on TikTok big time right now.
They're just looking. They said a couple keywords and they're looking for them.
Yeah. But so just bear that in mind. If you're in a chat on YouTube or on Twitch and your comments start disappearing, it may not even be the moderators doing that.
You hit a nerve.
There are AI bots on every social media platform now that scrub stuff.
Because Elmo and Dinky and the people like them have extremely fragile egos. They are nothing but paper tigers. So the instant you even come close to what's actually they know full well they're doing, that's when you get ixnayed.
They don't want the truth to be exposed.
That's right.
We've been exposing the truth for a decade.
How can they rewrite history if we expose the truth?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're terribly inconvenient for them.
Clarice is healthy. I just want everybody to know Clarice is the name of 5 Eggs computer.
Good.
And
Clarice.
He did a revamp on the computer last night. It should not be breaking down during the show.
No.
So
I gotta put you back on the set.
You know,
Bird. Yeah, can you say pretty bird?
When I
Pretty
see
bird. Yes, pretty bird.
when I see technical difficulties on live shows, my mind immediately goes to what we would call conspiracy theories, and we would be like, but nowadays you can't even fucking discount it. You can't really discount it.
My mouse froze, everything froze. So
Can't discount anything anymore.
Yeah.
We left the twilight zone and we are now in the outer limits.
I feel like I'm kind of a part of a lunatic fringe. No, I'm not.
I know you're
Way too loud.
Diane, before we forget to discuss it, have you made a decision about Sunday?
Sunday.
No. Okay.
Okay. You will be notified.
Diane, this is cool. We're loud enough to piss somebody off.
And we only have 793 subscribers, and I'm so glad that we are such an epic threat because our 793 subscribers are an epic threat.
Badasses.
To
our 793 subscribers are badasses.
no shit. And
Diane,
not only that,
I'm your protector.
another thing I wanted to bring up about the Elon thing in the Oval, he was saying it was a man
on the Eon lay.
Oh shit! Fuck.
Yeah.
The muskrat white man. I don't know what to. What am I supposed
Dick
to call
pic.
him? Elmo.
Dick pic.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, Elmo.
now I forgot what I was gonna say. Tony, stop! I need to fucking get it back. He was saying that, and this is what fascists always do. They use democracy against democracy. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean by that, Wizzy? Because it's like they say, this is in the name of democracy. No, it's not. This is not democracy in any fucking way, shape, or form. Wizzy, you
One
know exactly
person
what I
never
mean by this,
speaks
and
for a
I'm going to let you
plurality.
roll.
Yeah, right.
right.
Yeah. No. They always veil the language. They always veil the language. They make it look so pretty and package it so pretty. It looks like they're doing something. They're going to feed the children. To the
To
lions.
the pigs.
To the pigs.
Fuckers.
I'm going to
It's
fight
red.
democracy. I'm going to use democracy to fight for democracy. So,
To kill democracy.
to kill democracy. Thank you. Thank you for finishing it for me, babe. You knew where I was going.
I knew where you were going, honey.
We're all driving in the
Lord.
same direction.
Well, Hitler did it. He literally got the Reichstag or the German parliament to give him the rights that he had. He did it everything legally. Most of these dictators don't do the military coup and come rolling in a tank in the green outfit and the whole thing. Most of them go in a soft way. Just get voted in. They slide right in under the freaking radar. And then now they start working on consolidating power. And all the people that helped him get there are now compromised. So they've all got to help him now or they're going to get shot. And now it's just one thing after another. Next thing you know, the son of a bitch has gotten in a legal manner. And he's rewritten all the laws to give himself all the power. And meanwhile, all the people who had power over him have also relinquished all their power to him too, and just halfway unwittingly.
Well,
and some wittingly thinking they'll have a higher status later on.
Yeah.
Wizzy, that has been one of my things about, when we've been talking about this the whole time, is that you are relinquishing your power. If you give all your power to the executive branch, your Supreme Courts, your Congresses, your all that shit.
Those are irrelevant to a dictator.
That's right.
Yep.
Thank you for. You know where I'm going. I can't fucking think straight.
Now, Martha Salinas in the chat. She does make a very good point. Anytime we are discussing sensitive topics regarding children and what horrible people do to them, we have to be careful with the language we use, because that will always throw up a red flag.
Okay.
So just bear that in mind too. That certain topics,
Must
the language
be handled more
around
delicately.
Exactly.
Well
so
said.
She has abbreviated it to CSA, which is a good way to talk about it.
CSA is a good one.
A lot of people use CP instead of child. Yeah. So that's another thing we got to be mindful of as well.
Tony, for some reason I can't get into my email.
Oh wow. We need to shoot someone in space. Maybe they can
try searching to get started. What the fuck?
Google.
I am in Google.
No, you're not. There it is.
Oh, it says sign in. Oh, when I say go here, it says sign out. How the fuck did I sign out? I didn't sign out of anything, motherfuckers. Just FYI.
Well, if it came from Clarice, you signed out when Clarice went down.
Yeah, but then she had to sign back in to send me the link.
Different fucking.
I'm on a different computer, guys. I'm using
Not on the phone.
my personal channel, right? Where you hear all the music. Because Tony's on our channel. So when I sign into chat, what the fuck just happened to my computer?
Just type in the password.
Maybe when it glitched out, everything got glitched out.
It also left a man
It'd be one thing if it was his.
lying on the floor next to his own severed head.
Okay, apparently I have the wrong password. You're 5 eggs. You're gonna have to do it for me because I don't know what it is.
Real quick, learning curves in the chat. Are you asking for our backstory or someone else in the chat?
Are you asking for a friend?
I can't see the back. I can't see shit right now.
So learning curves put in the chat. Can you tell your backstory of how you became involved in this and why?
Learning Curves is here. Hi, Learning Curves.
Hi,
I can't
Learning
remember what
Curves.
chat I drug you over here from, but thank you for
Didn't
coming.
recognize it.
Hi, Learning Curves.
It's good to see you.
So
okay, I'll let you. You want to tell the story?
Go ahead.
They responded with yours. My story. I was pregnant in 2016, so I was somewhat oblivious to the whole lead up to Dinky's first term. I had my kid in 2017, just before he was inaugurated, and for the first 2 years of her life, I was focused solely on her. And then I came out of that shell and I saw all the bullshit going on. And I started getting involved in various political content on YouTube as a chatter. And through House Sparks, I got to meet these other wonderful people I'm on screen with and have spoken out the best I can since then. And I'm really happy I was able to meet all these wonderful people that I'm now involved with, and very happy to be politically involved as well. So,
Mizzy, you guys go next.
Oh, a story? Oh.
That's the story.
You know what? Mine's way, way, way too long for y'all tonight.
Ah.
I have a book to read. But I will.
There's a book to write at
I
some point.
truly do. But
I'll write a book for you.
Bottom line is, I'm with these guys. We all kind of bumped into each other here and there, usually around, I think it was Hal Sparks. I bumped into Benny Loco first, and she turned me on to the whole YouTube and guided me through and got me rolling. And then, of course, I bumped into Diane, and Diane, turns out she and I have a lot more in common than we ever knew. And then, of course, I met Mark P., who I will be marrying. And along the way, I met the lovely Spike. But this is because I've been always love you all. I've always been involved in this sort of thing since I was a small child. My mom was politically active. My aunts were. We always had political back and forth at home. Also, I became a civics teacher. And for 25 years, I spent in the school districts, in the school system, in the public school system in 2 states, California and Texas. And I'm telling you, these kids gave me faith in our future, but I also saw the writing on the wall since Reagan. I knew things were going to go down, and they've been going down since, and I knew it was going to have to come to a head, and it just happens to have now. So I'm here to speak out now that we have all this beautiful technology, and to join in the voices of the fight, and to help educate people around us as best I can remember how, because I'm retired. I've been out of my game for a while, but I still know my shit pretty good. And if I don't know it, I know where to find it. So I'm happy to help anybody who needs to learn something. So anyway, that's my story. Mark D.
She knows a great deal of shit, by the way. For
What is
me,
that?
be honest,
Come closer to the mic, honey. Can you come
Yeah.
closer to the mic?
okay, sorry. Let's make sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not projecting as well because of the still getting over the flu. Be honest, for a great deal of my life, I wasn't real dialed in politically. It really wasn't until the orange motherfucker got elected where I really started paying attention, was dialed in on a daily basis, and just watched the madness.
Daughter, I mean.
Yes, and during the fucking lockdown, 2020, we were basically confined to our homes, wasn't going anywhere. Started really digging into the YouTubes. House Sparks was probably one of the biggest gathering areas. It was a much smaller chat at the time, but that's where I engaged with these fine folk here that we're talking with here, and the connections kind of we started Zooming, and we had face to face conversations, had a voice to match this lovely face, and you really what was referenced earlier, what you're watching here, that this show is basically as one of our Zoom sessions that we're sharing.
So we're sharing with everybody. Yeah.
I was trying
It's
to
our
get an
private
email
phone
from
call, and
the
we're
guy
sharing with
from, 21st
everybody.
century.
Yeah.
Early on, Benny Loco, since she's one of my first screen mates on one of these panels, with an individual who shall not be named, but
Right.
that's
So
when
if
we
you
first started.
see me calling Mark screen mate, or me calling him screen mate,
Yeah.
vice
That's where it
versa,
started.
whatever.
Check
Yeah,
the email.
that's why.
My first panel was with Benny Loco, about 4 years ago, if not,
I'm a
thereabouts.
panel cherry buster, a cherry buster, a panel cherry buster, a cherry buster.
Well, and I think Benny
Sorry.
Loco is really kind of the core link here.
Yes,
yeah,
And
it
so-
brought us all together.
our link.
So, should I go next, or Benny, you want to go
Yeah,
next?
hang
You
on.
should. Benny should go last. You should go next.
Okay, you want me to go next? Okay,
I want you to go next. I want Benny to go last.
I'm a little bit like Mark. During 2020 and COVID, we're all locked in our houses. I started going and watching podcasts, because I'm like, oh, there's podcasts and I get information. Like, what? So,
Holy shit!
yeah, I didn't
Vagina.
know. I didn't know. I had no clue. I was a little bit oblivious to the whole thing. But during 2020, I got involved in the Hal chat. And Hal, I'm going to say, kind of brought us all together, really. And,
Yes, he did.
And then we Mark was saying we would have Zoom calls. Then we started exchanging emails and then phone numbers. And then we all started talking, right? Mark and I started talking. Benny and I started talking. I started talking to Andrea from Hal Sparks. Spy, Ken, and I were kind of a late match, you know what I mean, in all of this. But it was when we started talking on the phone and we started doing Zoom calls on the side by ourselves is when we kind of started this. Now, I've had three podcasts so far. I had HBL Radio Nation with Brian Gallagher. And then Benny, yeah, but he had to quit, and now he's got an alias, and you know what it is. So now I started a separate one with Benny and myself. It was Benny and Diane, and what happened is we were spending too much money and we didn't have enough followers. So we were spending a lot of money, trying to do this. And I said, let's consolidate. And not only that, when Benny and I started our show, Elizabeth was in the process of moving. And we wanted Wizzy in with us in the beginning. And I had not met Spy yet. I mean, maybe we had met in the chat, but not really.
I think we had just done a couple of Hal Zooms.
Right, yeah. It was very minimal contact at that point. So I said, let's consolidate everything to 21st Century Suffragettes. Brian was getting, advances in his job, promotions in his job. He can't do it anymore. So it was me and Benny, and then I was like, I'm facing all this stuff with health problems with my mom. Benny's facing all this health stuff with her husband, and then it was like, we need to bring in more people. So if I can't be here or you can't be here, we can still have a show. And it's not even like, I don't even like calling it a show, right? Like, we call it a show, just a podcast,
it's a cast.
whatever.
It's our cast.
Yeah. I call it a show because it's in my vernacular.
What everybody says. What everybody
of being a musician, right? Okay, so it's just like, it's another show, right?
But it's not a show, it's reality.
I know, sweetie. I know what you mean.
That's the difference.
I know, but I use
That's why we call it a cast.
That's why I use the just regular vernacular that I would normally speak
Yeah, I can dig it.
So it really happened when we were all like on a phone call. Benny and I were on a phone call. On a Zoom, actually. And we were just talking. And I'm like, we should go live with this right now. Or she said it. I think she said it, not me. And I'm like,
said, fuck it, let's do this live, Diane. We were heated the fuck up.
Why not? Why not?
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Yeah, it was like, that's where it kind of all stemmed from. Now, politically, when you're an artist and a musician, it's difficult to be political in a bar. Okay, so
yeah,
in a bar setting, I had a drummer who was very anti-Obama, and in between songs, he would say shit about Obama in between songs. I'd mute his fucking mic. I had to put my mixing board right next to me so I could mute his fucking microphone so he couldn't say anything. And then I go, oh, watch, look at half the people that were here just left. Because you don't know who the fuck you're talking to, and this ain't your fucking soapbox, bitch. We are here to entertain people who want to get away from the news, who don't want to talk about politics or hear about politics. They want to hear you play rock and roll, bitch. and you're talking about politics in a bar when people are hammered. Yeah. This is not the right place to talk about politics. There's a reason why they say in the music business, don't talk about politics and religion in your... Look at what happened to Sinead O'Connor. You know what I mean? Like...
I love when he picks and drops the beat right after this bit.
I know. It's great. No, but what I'm saying is there's a reason for it. People are drinking. Yeah. People are opposed. They want to get away from it. They're at the bar to get away from it in the first fucking place. Otherwise, they'd be in front of their fucking TVs at home having a fucking beer, right?
Yeah.
They came out to hear live music. They don't want to hear you talk on your soapbox.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
and not only that, the whole half the bar left.
Yeah. So Benny Locos came in. So she brought you in as well.
Well,
yeah, Benny Loco's our anchor point.
She's our anchor point. I want to hear her story.
The thing is,
I'm the collector.
Yeah, I want to know how you got Benny Loco.
I brought you all together here for a purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is it.
Bottom line is we all connected, you know, during COVID kind of ish and after COVID ish through our perspective channels, whether it was Hal Sparks or Stephanie Miller or whatever, we were all there, and then it grew from there, and then we started relationships and started talking, and then it was like, let's go live.
Yeah. Benny Loco, what started you, honey?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Well, I came to YouTube for a place to get away from all the things that bother me. So I created the Benny Loco channel, and I came there and we all sit around and we get high and we have fun and we make jokes and, you know.
And how long ago was that, Benny?
17 years on YouTube.
On these YouTube streets. Benny Loco's been walking over 17 years.
Oh my God.
I'm still standing. It's amazing, actually it is, because it's really hard to sustain life on YouTube. That's why the channels that I celebrate, and I'm going to call it that because they're doing the right thing and they deserve to be celebrated. That's why I'm such a advocate for so many places, because so many places have something to add that we all need to know. You know what I'm saying? So everywhere I go, I meet new people. And that's how we all come together, you see? And that's how we all need to do this. You all go out into other chats see, I go to a lot of places. I don't just stay in 5 or 10 channels. I'm every fucking where.
We all need to do the Benny Loco.
And that's how channels grow. You take your wares and you bring it to another channel and you talk about it and you lift it up and you tell people that's a great place to go. If you want to just, you know, I'm going to say, get your political groove on. You know, for lack of a better term.
These two women are the most bitter, pessimistic, and crotchety old broads I have ever seen or listened to.
Cheers.
And I'm here for it.
And I'm
That's
here for
right.
it. By the way, thank you.
You know, that's been my story on YouTube. I came here for one thing, and I even drug my channel behind me after I got into... See, the biggest mistake I made was dragging my channel into the political chats. I should have made a whole new channel for that. But that would mean that I had 3 channels, and I can't barely manage 2. Okay, so I had to poo-poo that idea, and I was like, "Well, I'm here already, in for a penny, in for a pound."
Well, and that's where
Because
Benny.
now my Zen place, where I went for my TBI, my space of relaxation, has been turned into another political chat.
Well, Benny, you still do drive and you sing songs and stuff, and it's really great. And it's still
nothing's
Zen
gonna
on your
stop
channel.
me from my channel mission. Let's just say,
Yeah.
I'm
But
gonna be my channel always. I'm the only Benny Loco on YouTube. There's only one of me. Look it up.
Yeah, but Benny, the other thing is that when we started Diane and Benny, or Benny and Diane thing, and then 21st Century Suffragettes, this gave you a place to talk politics without bringing it to your
That
Zen,
was our agreement when you and
Zen
I
channel.
spoke about doing this. It was like, that was what I said. That's what you agreed to. I was like, this is cool. I'll have a place where I can, vent this out outside of my channel.
Yep.
Kind of like Diane's
because
music
so
channel.
many of our wonderful chatters have followed over to Benny Loco channel because it's been shared. See, I've been down here in the Boyd for a fucking long time.
Yeah.
And I've tried to keep it that way.
Yeah.
For a reason.
And I think what Wizzy was trying to get at is it's kind of like my music channel, Diane Russell Live, where I play music. I try not to talk politics, but it squeaks out here and there.
It's inevitable.
What are you gonna do?
I have met some of the most brilliant, wonderful people in here.
That's right. Well, and let's not forget that's also why we have a call-in number, so that anyone in our chat can be a part of it. Anyone.
Yep. Your voices are welcome here, and I don't want to just hear from the 4 people that call in several times during a show. I like it when we get new people calling in.
Mark would be calling if he wasn't on the panel.
I know.
That's right. And we have gotten a few trolls who have called in, which are always fun.
Yes, yay for the trolls. Come on and pump the algorithm.
Oh, give me.
And let us chew on you for a little while. Bat you around the chat.
Yeah. We'll chew on you for a little while. We'll chew on you, and they'll bat you around, and then we'll spit you out like the motherfucker that you are. Fling.
Spit you out like a freaking little piece of shit.
Fling.
You are.
Go back to Russia. Drink another bottle of vodka and eat another can of caviar, because that's all you got in Russia, you bitches.
That's right. But anyone in the chat who is even a little nervous about calling in, don't worry about it. We got you, and we'll take care of you, and we want to hear your voices. We want to hear what you guys have to say. Just like we get on here every week and say what we want to say, we want to hear what you have to say as well. So
same thing with our email. With our email, if you don't want to call in, you don't feel comfortable, you can write us an email at 21stcenturysuffragettes@gmail.com. In fact, I was trying, when everything shut down, I was trying to get into the Gmail because somebody said they sent us an email to 21st Century Suffragettes. Did they want us to show or read or whatever? I don't know.
Thank you very much. Can I be in charge for a while?
That's from iHip. I've Had It podcast, or I've Had It news. I love these ladies. They've been doing a lot of good videos, shorts on clips of what the fuck is going on a daily. 2, 3, sometimes a day.
Stop. Fuck both of you so hard.
Okay. I gotta go, y'all, because my voice, I'm getting a little bit kind of pooped from this, and it's getting about that time. There's some family priorities that are needing to addressing.
Sure.
And we're still kind of sick, so I want to please just say to everyone, I think every subscriber, I think every person who has helped us, all of our mods, Tony, you too, even though I get irritated with some of your placement of some of your stuff, but it's okay.
A pussy. I mean, just a titty baby deluxe.
I got your titties right here. Anyway. Sorry. Anyway, I got your chesticles. Benny's got those chesticles.
Right.
She's gonna slap you around with your chesticles.
Ooh, don't make me motorboat your ass.
No, but no, I really want to thank my sweet friends here on the panel. You know, my love of my life over here next to me, all of our subscribers and all of our members and all of the people who just like are really cool out there and fighting the good fight with us. I mean, you guys don't ever think that you're not absolutely 100% appreciated. Let's just all get on our Benny Loco and get out there and tell everybody what for, man. Okay, and I love you all. And I
Love
appreciate
you.
you.
Love you, Wizzy. Love you, Mark. You guys take care. You guys get healthy.
Thank you.
We'll see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
Okay. I'm going to send some love. I'm going to send some love before we leave.
I didn't realize the show, we were actually 10 minutes over. I didn't realize we were 10 minutes over. Oh, my God. That went by like that.
Of course it
So
did.
bad.
I know.
It always goes fast. And
Who
then
wants
we
to
had
go
an
next?
interruption because the truth hurts.
Yeah, I know.
Brief commercial break, and then we came back.
Yeah. Brief intermission. Let's go to the lobby.
All right. Closing
I hope
statements.
everybody
Who
was
wants to
able
go next?
Refresh their drink and everything else while we were gone. Thank
Benny?
you for coming back.
Benny, you wanna go next on your closing statements for the show?
You know what I got to say. It's time to fucking turn it up to 11. That's all. It's time. Now I'm going to start recording myself out in public more.
I think it's
talking
good
to these
legal
people.
advice.
just talking to these people, so you can see how easy it is to just talk to people. It's all you got to do is talk to people, make an opening, and then talk. That's it. Keep up with the silent protests too.
It looks like Midas Lisa wants to give us a call real quick before we.
Oh,
phones are down.
Phones
Sorry.
are down right now
5
because we had
phones are down.
because of the restart.
Oh. 5 eggs.
He could restart. Oh, geez, we're about ready to get out of here. So anyway.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
I'm
shitting.
Spykin.
Oh God! Shit coming. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh no, I'm shitting. Sorry.
I don't even know what to say after that drop. Spykin, you got any closing statements, my love?
I keep saying the same thing to everybody, and I just don't want it to sound like I'm saying the same thing over again, honestly, because I keep saying the same thing.
That's what it is. We have to keep doing the same thing over and over again until we win. You see? Keep being loud. Keep informed. Keep on top of this fucking pile of shit lies that we're being crammed down our throat every day, and call the shit out.
Yep.
And make your voice heard to those in charge. So call your representatives, call your senators.
Call them.
Call them daily. Every time you see something that pops up on the news that you're concerned about, call them. If you're in a Democratic area, call your Democratic representative. If you're close to a Republican area, call the Republican representative. Just make your voice heard. Call them all. Make them dread hearing your voice every day. Make them regret the fact that they put you in the position where you have to call your government every day to complain, because that's the position they put us in. And let's not forget that. Call them and call them and call them. And then if you can participate in protests that are going on, I know there's one coming up in New York on the 23rd, I think. If you're close there, get involved with the elections that are coming up in Florida and in New York. That I think are April 1st. See if you can volunteer to make phone calls or do postcards.
What about the blackout of buying nothing on the 28th?
There's a buying blackout for the 28th. I think there's also one on President's Day. Then there's also one on March 15th. any of these things that you can do. And like Benny said, talk to people. I don't interact with a lot of people because I'm pretty much at home all day. So it's only on the internet that I really communicate with a lot of people. But my husband, he is out there every day talking to these people and explaining
he's vicious about it.
How they,
he did not hold back.
And Diane knows my husband, he can spin a yarn. He can spin a yarn for an hour. So just do what you can to make your voice heard. That's what we have at this point.
Right.
We have to make our voices heard. If it's with your dollar, making sure you don't buy things from certain companies. You guys know this. I haven't eaten at McDonald's since my teenage years, which is almost 30 years now. I don't eat at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, it's good. The Goods Unite Us app. You can find Goods Unite Us app on your phone, and that will tell you where you can spend your money and how to protest. Go ahead, Benny.
And the 5 Calls app.
Yep.
Yes.
5 Calls app. It's tailored to your zip code.
And it makes it so easy for you. It makes it so simple. You don't have to worry about what you're going to say. They'll give you a script. Read the script, and if you agree with it, read the script to them. But again, make your voice heard. Make it so unbearable for them to ignore you that you can't be ignored. And that's what we do.
Shame on you, government, for putting your people through this fucking shit who have stood by you
100%.
for 250 motherfucking years. Shame on you.
So my thing is that every time I hear people talking about what can we do, it's always on us, the American voters. And no matter what we do, even when we vote, and we're not, guess what? Now is the time to be in streets. And I know people are afraid to protest. Okay? If I was young and I had a good back and I didn't have to take care of all this fucking bullshit that I've been having to take care of for the last decade, I'd be in the fucking streets. Guarantee you. You know I'd be there. But this has been consuming my life, and it was a necessity, right? I had no other choice, in other words. So I just want you guys to know that for those of you who are taking care of your elderly parents and you can't go out there and protest because you just don't, you need to get your young people out there. You need to get your young
and their
people out there. Us 50-year-olds, right? We protested
64.
the war. We protested the war in Afghanistan, in Iraq, and we fucking protested all this bullshit. And our mothers before us protested in the streets for voting rights and equal rights and reproductive rights.
I have to jump in, Diane. The major asked us, are we still on? Should I tell him yes? And send
bring him on.
Yes.
I'm sure he's got some amazing advice.
Okay,
yes.
I'm going to probably have to.
For those of you who are still here and you didn't bail on us, you're in for a treat.
Major Oetta is coming on. I'm going to pop out.
No, Benny. Tony's
I'll be
got
right back, guys.
Wait, hold on. Tony's got his email. Oh, I thought you did.
So, Diane, just based on what you were just talking about, I think one other thing that a lot of people are overlooking and speaking to other people about this is there is a large group of the young population that has been so disenfranchised away from voting. And those are the ones we need to reach. We need to reach those that are just coming into the, their 20s, just getting out in the world.
Honey, their attention span is 2 seconds. They're used to TikTok and Instagram and 2-minute videos. We're on for 2 hours. They're not going to listen to us.
I'm saying in person. if there are young people in your life who just want to sit it out, try to reach them and explain to them how important it is. And again, what we're seeing right now is the exact reason why people should get out and vote.
Right.
This is the exact reason why we need to push people to get out and vote. If they don't like what they're seeing,
I just want you guys to know, if Major OJEDI jumps on with us right now, he has the floor. Get your questions ready. Okay? No, seriously, get your questions ready. We will try to, watch the questions in the chat. Give us make the big red question mark so we can, see it, or at us or whatever so we can see it. If we can get him on, because I love the Major, and he's running again.
Yes.
Yes, he is.
And he's running in what? North Carolina now?
Yes.
Yeah. So
it's gonna be my neighbor.
I'll tell you what.
He is your neighbor. He already lives there. He built beautiful homes there for him and his mom, and he's got a beautiful compound over there in North Carolina. Are you kidding me?
So
it's gorgeous.
Thing is,
they got a big old pond. The missus goes fishing out there.
But Benny, you know his background better than I do. So he's been in he was in Iraq and Afghanistan, or I don't know.
Yes.
You tell me. So, yes. You tell us.
He's a retired Major General. Airborne. He's done some hairy eyeball shit, I'll tell you what.
He wants in. We need links through Instagram, or
let me see. Where did he go? Where'd you go, Major?
I thought I had his
see
email.
What happens. Hold on.
I'm gonna get a quick refill. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
there you go.
I don't know how to copy and paste the question. So, learning curve. Wait until we get him on, and then please ask that question again, because I'd love to get his take on it. But I gotta tell you, if he gets on here, I'm gonna let him roll. He's got the floor. You get what I mean? You know what I mean? Until he needs to take a breath. And by the way, every time he says 2 shits, we take a drink.
We drink.
And every time he says, I'm going to tell you something I'm going to tell you, that's another drink. So be prepared to be hammered by the end of however long. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. When I first started watching The Major, every time he said 2 shits, I took a drink. It's like, oh, here we go. He's on a roll. But that's what I need, though. That's the kind of content that we need. And I know that, we're not the be-all, end-all of information. We're throwing out stuff that we have found out and we're appalled at, and we bitch about it and whatever. We're not journalists. We're not political experts. We are underpaid household engineers. That's what we are. And
by about $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
Whoa,
there
here we go.
What
is up, Major? Thank you for jumping in, sir. I appreciate you.
Yes,
damn. Sir. You starting to look like Texas Paul.
He's smarter than I am.
Oh man, I don't know. You guys give each other a good run for your money. Hey, listen, thank you for jumping up at the spur of the moment. I mean, we appreciate it so much over here. You have the floor, sir. Let's fucking go.
Well, let me tell you, first off, I am very excited to be a congressional candidate in North Carolina's 9th District. The reason why I'm doing this now is because I have a pretty good sized district, nowhere near as big as it was in West Virginia. So I believe I'll be able to cover it pretty good. half of my district is really heavily saturated with veterans, so that's going to play really well into my hand. But then the northern part, not so much. So I've got a lot of time that I got to be putting boots on the ground and going everywhere. So that's why I filed this early. And I'm going to do everything in my power to bust this guy's ass, because he don't do nothing but send flyers that say build the wall and close the border. But let me tell you, these are some of the things that I really want to do. So first and foremost, I would like to bring back the fairness doctrine.
100%.
Oh, yes.
Now, the fairness doctrine was killed by Ronald Reagan, and that's how Fox News was created. And I'm basically saying that everybody should be more than willing to bring that back so that we can demand honor and integrity in our news media. And what I mean is in my bill, I plan on saying that if you get caught lying to the people, the first time you do it, you're going to get a severe fine. The second time you do it, you're going to be taken off the air for maybe 6 months. And the third time you do it, you lose your license. You're no longer news. You're done.
Major.
So that's something.
Excuse me, Major. My also fairness doctrine, I agree, and then Citizens United would be my second thing because of the dark money coming into politics. But please go ahead, sir.
You are speaking absolute to the choir. We must absolutely kill Citizens United, because that is giving corporations the ability to buy our elections and these millionaires. So yes, we got to overturn Citizens United. I also believe that we need to completely get rid of the cap for Social Security. Social Security is extremely important, and they're actually going to go after this.
Oh, yeah.
But right now, you pay into Social Security the first $124,000 that you make. Anything above that, they don't take Social Security out of.
Right.
So if we was to raise that cap to $250,000, Social Security would be there for our kids. But if we get rid of that cap, and Elon Musk and Zuckerberg and those assholes have to pay into Social Security on all the money that they make, we would be able to enjoy cost of living increases every year on Social Security. You know, a lot of people, and I always use people where I come from in West Virginia that worked in the courthouse. You know, they were clerks in the courthouse, and they did 30 years, and their retirement is roughly $2,000 a month. That's their retirement. Rent is $1,200 a month. Utilities are another $600. So they're absolutely almost with nothing. So Social Security is what helps them make it from month to month. But every year that they get screwed over, and how, you know, nobody wants to do anything for them, they start getting to the point where the last week of the month, they're practically going without. Cost of living increases. We would be able to make sure that everybody makes it from month to month with dignity, and that's what we need to do.
Right.
I also want, and I don't care what anybody says, I think that we need to make lobbyists wear body cameras.
Yeah.
If you are a lobbyist, and you get caught talking to a member of Congress and your body camera is not on, I don't give a shit if it's in Walmart. If you get caught talking to a member of Congress and your body camera is not on, you will lose your license and you will no longer be allowed to be a lobbyist. Because let me tell you something.
Transparency.
That's right. If your members of Congress knew that you could get on anytime and watch the conversation that they have in their office, they would be far less likely to sell you down the river. I also want, now I know that everybody talks about term limits and they always want to fight it, but this is what I want to do. I want to say, okay, let's meet at the 20-year mark. You can do 20 years and look at it like the military. You know, you do 20 years, your retirement is 50% of what you made. And that's still plenty for these people in Washington, D.C. But 20 years is something that I think people may be able to get behind. They're not going to get behind 12 years or 10 years because they're going to be like, well, hell, I'm still doing a lot of work here. So let's say 20 years and out. And that's and, you know, to me, that's the term limit that we may be able to get people to follow through with. So
we need to keep our government young. I'm sorry, Major, but we need to keep our government young. We can't have 85-year-old people running our government. They don't get it. They don't get anything about social media, how to fucking run it, nothing. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, there are 11 members. There are 11 Republican members in the Senate right now. Now, there's also some Democrats that are just as old as they are, been there just as long. But there are 11 Republican senators that voted to impeach Bill Clinton over a blowjob. And, you know, of course, now they voted to acquit Donald Trump. But they've been in office for over 40 years. How on earth can a person that's been in Congress for 40 years, that has been drawing $174,000 for friggin' decades,
be millionaires?
How can they still relate to their constituents? Well, because they can't.
And not only that, they're all millionaires.
Their constituents.
They're all epic millionaires because they've been given money from all the lobbyists to fight against American interests.
I want to make it to where you're not. I don't give a shit. They say, well, you can't be a lobbyist for 4 years, which is something that they started a couple years ago. There was a lot of people that won Congress, and then when they got done, they walked straight across the street and they start working for those lobbying organizations at $2.5 million a pop. Now, here's the thing. First and foremost, we need to stop that, because here's what happens. When a person becomes a member of Congress, the first day they're sitting in their office, lobbyists come to them. And what they do is they come in there and they say, hey, man, we want to work with you. This is our company. This is what we do. But just understand that if you are willing to work with us, maybe you decide one of these days you no longer want to be a member of Congress, you can walk across the street and we'll have a job for you. We've got members in Congress that know that that's a $2.5 million pay raise for them if they walk across the street. So what they start doing is they don't even start waiting for that company to give them shit to fight for. They start creating stuff themselves to show them how much they're really willing to work for that company so that they can get that money. And we got to stop that. That needs to. We got to stop allowing these people to become lobbyists, and we got to stop allowing these people to use insider trading to be able to get, play the stock market. Nobody should be able to play the stock market.
So, Major, I there was a question before you jumped on, and it was like, what do you think? I'm paraphrasing. What do you think about Elon taking over 15 agencies or whatever, government agencies? Like, I don't even corrupted or have access to.
This is an absolute crime.
Yes.
We are witnessing crimes taking place. And you know what? I'm at this point where I'm like, I hope that we have enough military people at the top that are willing to stand up against this. It wouldn't bother me if they daggone decided to do a damn military action, because right now we're losing everything. Elon Musk is an absolute buffoon. And oh, by the way, we just now paid $400 million so that he can basically sell his cyber trucks. And they're all a bunch of bullshit. Those trucks ain't worth a dime. And once again, this is nothing more than free grift for him, because nobody's buying his cyber trucks. His cyber trucks across the globe are dropping because nobody wants to buy them. They fell something like 75% in Spain alone. But, this is it. This is, hey, Donald Trump, throw us a bone, since everybody in the world is deciding that the swastika is a, piece of shit. Nobody wants to buy it. But don't worry, Elon, we'll take care of you. We'll pay you $400 million and you can sell them to us.
Major, do you think that from that Oval Office press conference, in your opinion, do you think that Elon Musk is actually the president of the United States and Dinky is not?
Elon Musk absolutely believes that he is the real president of the United States. And oh, by the way, everybody knows, his little son, that actually said, you're not the president. The reason why his son said that is because his son has heard people say he's not the president, your daddy is. And that's why he said that. But I'm going to tell you, 100%. I don't know how long it's going to take before they finally decide to shit can Elon Musk, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen, and it's going to happen pretty soon. And and Donald Trump wants people to think that he's in charge, and eventually he's going to get pissed off, because everybody realizes right now Donald Trump ain't doing shit but sitting behind the desk, sleeping and playing golf.
Major, my question is, how do we get rid of Elon Musk? Who is going to stop him? Because the FBI, everything has been taken over. So I in my opinion, down here in the world of not knowing much about any of this stuff, just being an artist and a musician and a housewife, how does he get stopped, in your opinion?
So I keep telling people that I don't give a shit if you're a Democrat or you're a Republican right now. Message your Republican members of Congress. Because if all of a sudden the Republican members of Congress, their phones, their computers are bombarded with messages saying, look, We didn't vote for friggin' Elon Musk.
Right.
And this is bullshit. I mean, look at all the people who are being screwed over. I mean, they're going after all the USAID folks. Every single person that works for USAID should be messaging their Republican members of Congress saying that if you don't take a stand, if you don't bring our jobs back, don't you dare darken our doorstep when it's time for you to get elected. And that's what needs to happen. And I'm telling you right now, this is absolutely friggin' bullshit what they're doing. But there's a lot of people that are getting hurt, and there's a lot of people that don't realize it that are about to get hurt. You know, I talked to a buddy of mine in West Virginia the other night. And he told me, you know, he's a Democrat, and he told me, he says he works with the state road. And he was talking to a bunch of the people he worked with, and he says, hey, what are you guys going to do? What are you guys going to do when they kill our Social Security? And those guys looked at him and said, they're not going to kill our Social Security. They're just going to take it from the black people. So that's how some of these people are thinking. They're thinking, and once again, you know, Hispanics for Trump, Latinos for Trump, Cubans for Trump, Palestinians for Trump, blacks for Trump. All of those people, they thought that because they bought a hat and a friggin' damn shirt that they were going to be protected. Now, a bunch of them are in deportation centers right now, waiting for a friggin' airplane to take them back to a country that they fled from. And now they're like, what the hell? But once again, this is going to happen to a lot more people.
Right.
And, you know, if people start bombarding the friggin' Republicans' mailboxes and their phones, telling them that if they don't stand up and get rid of Elon Musk, do not darken our doorstep. Let me tell you something. You know, they want to act like they're big friggin' Donald Trump supporters. Behind the scenes, a lot of the Republicans are already saying that they're getting tired of this bullshit.
Right.
But make no mistake about it. If they think for 1 minute that they're going to lose their election in 2026 because they don't stand up for because their constituents are pissed off at them, they're going to have no other recourse. And once again, like me, I'm fine because I'm like, you know what? I'm running against this Hudson friggin' asshole. You know what? I tell you what. I hope he continues to stay in Washington, D.C. All he ever does is send flyers that say, build the wall, close the border. And if a person from Guatemala can walk all the way to North Carolina and take my job, then I made some shitty decisions in life, not anybody else.
Yeah,
shit. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to bust his ass because, once again, he ain't nothing but a bootlicker for Donald Trump. And I'm going to tell you, I really believe that it ain't going to be long. You know, right now everybody's like, oh, you know, Elon Musk is doing shit. But Elon Musk is getting shit done. Look, if you are not rich, Elon Musk is hurting you. Yeah. That's a fact. And let me tell you something. Within 6 months, I think everybody's going to be sick and tired of Donald Trump, and especially Elon Musk.
Spykin, you had a question? You go ahead.
I did. I wanted to bring it up on the show, but none of us really have any kind of military experience, so we would be literally talking out of our asses on it. But Major, what are your thoughts on I believe it's an aircraft carrier, the USS Harry Truman, that was involved in a collision? Yeah. Have you heard about this?
I haven't heard about that, but I will tell you that then heads are going to roll. I mean, especially an aircraft carrier. Those things cost about $13 billion or more. You know, in terms of our military, I think that this is a real slap in the face. You know, Donald Trump and them are literally talking about we don't want to recruit people of color anymore. Mm-hmm. You know, they're already going through.
They want their white. They want their white militia.
They want And let me tell you something. I served in the military with people of all race, creeds, and color, and I will tell you that a lot of African Americans use the military to be able to elevate themselves out of poverty. And while they're in the military, I'll tell you right, they do amazing things. I mean, I knew a lot of people of color that were always taking extra college classes, and a lot of them rose up the ranks. They've done very well. They're wonderful non-commissioned officers, wonderful officers. You know, I mean, I think that they absolutely bring value to everything that we do in the military. And I've said this many times. You know, people of color have always had the deck stacked against them. And in every circumstance, they have always rose to the challenge and absolutely proved that they could do what they could be the best.
Major, I have a question from our chat from Super Saint. She asks, would you consider working with Christopher Goldsmith and the Veterans Against Fascism and Task Force Butler?
Absolutely. And look, I'm all about doing everything I can to stand against fascism. And if there's veterans out there that are in that, I want to be with them.
I'm sorry, I've never heard of this group, so I don't know what she's exactly talking about, but have you heard of it?
I haven't heard of it, but make no mistake about it. Give them my name. Tell them to contact me. I'm easy to find. You know, at the end of the day, our military is, it's in a rough spot. Pete Hegseth is going to do exactly what Donald Trump and them want to do. But make no mistake about it. This is one group that you really don't want to mess with, because you know what? We got millions of retirees out here. And I'm going to tell you one thing. You don't want to mess with the veterans because we know how to fight. And look, we don't want to ever have to daggone fight anybody on this soil. But make no mistake about it. If you push us, if you take from us, if you start going after our benefits that we work for, I receive a retirement check because I gave 24 years of my life in service to this country. I received my disability check because daggone it, you broke me. You sent me to combat zones multiple times. I have breathed in burning bodies. I have been on vehicles that were destroyed with depleted uranium. I've almost died 5 times in Iraq. I was almost captured in Afghanistan. All this stuff, it affects me. And make no mistake about it. I do everything that I do, but I'm going to tell you, I do it in pain because my body has been beat to death. I jumped out of airplanes for 20 straight years. These people better understand that just because we're retired don't mean that we can't get back in this fight.
It's another one of my questions, Major, and this is a big one. So, we hear that FBI, people have been, broomed out, and now they have to fight, they have to answer a questionnaire to be acceptable to the FBI or the CIA or any of this stuff. See, to us civilians, okay, who don't know anything about this, how they want to clear out the Pentagon to this kind of shit terrifies the fuck out of me, right? Because so they're putting my question is, I guess I'm framing it all wrong. They're putting heads of the FBI and CIA and all these people that are totally unqualified. What do the people behind them think? Will they follow through, or will they be like, fuck you, we're gonna not go with your order because it's totally illegal and against the Constitution and against our oath?
It's going to be tough. A lot of people know that if they don't answer the questionnaire probably the way that Trump and them want, they're going to try to basically end their time in the military. This is something that's unprecedented. We've never seen anything like this in our entire country. And I am hoping that we've got enough people at the top that are willing to take a stand. Just like, every single day, Donald Trump keeps signing these executive orders, but they're all going straight to the courts. And in most cases, they're getting defeated. We just have to hope that people hold the line. Pete Hegseth has no business being the Secretary of Defense. The guy is a National Guard major. And as a major who was active duty, Pete Hegseth didn't do a fraction of what I had to do to earn my rank. And, he's got 2 deployments. One of them was to daggone Guantanamo Bay. So, he counts that as a combat deployment. It wasn't no combat deployment.
Well, just like, what's his name with the white boots in Florida? What's his name?
DeSantis.
Yeah, DeSantis, and what he had to do the urine samples. Is that
he was a urinalysis friggin' the urinalysis. They put him in charge of being the daggone piss test guy, and his whole job was to make sure that he watched to make sure that they actually pissed in the bottles. But of course, what did he do? He told people, when I was with the Navy SEALs, and he got roasted. He got roasted because, oh, by the way, don't act like you were with the Navy SEALs. You were on a base where Navy SEALs existed. We also know that he enjoyed watching the interrogations because he thought it was cool that they would, whatever they did to those people in the interrogations. But you got to be real careful when you talk that kind of shit because you will get checked. And he got checked.
Yeah, Major. And I guess my question is too is like Hegseth and DeSantis and these dudes who were they're like, oh, I was in the military and you have to respect me, when they didn't see any combat. They weren't on the wire, as or outside the wire, as you say.
Yeah, believe me.
I don't know the terminology, honey, but you know what I mean.
Anybody around you.
I like that. I like that soundbite.
We use it frequently.
Awesome. Hey, look. I mean, at the end of the day, I saw that shit. I saw those people. You know, I it kills me. Lindsey Graham was actually in the military.
I know.
And he went to Iraq, and he went to the Al-Fal Palace, and he spent about 2 weeks in a damn palace. And if you think they were treating him like a soldier, they were treating him like the member of Congress that he is.
Wait,
they kissed
hold
his
on.
ass for 2 weeks, and then they had the nerve to give him a Bronze Star when he left.
Major.
And, that's the kind of bullshit that I saw.
Major.
And I saw a whole bunch of, look, there's some National Guard units that are actually good. And there's a bunch of National Guard units that ain't worth the shit.
Major, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you just said what again? He was in a palace somewhere? Don't you think maybe that's where... Wait, hold on, sir. I'm sorry to interrupt. Don't you think maybe that might be where the compromise comes, where he's like, he had a golf game with Dinky, and then all of a sudden he does a 180 on Dinky? We call him Dinky here because every time we use his real name, we get buffering and we get shut down and whatever. We have to use special names.
Yeah, we got shut down on our stream today, Major.
Yes, for saying Dinky's real name, and we call him Dinky because of this, Major.
Yeah.
Okay, so like...
yeah, gotcha.
Because of Stormy Daniels, Okay, so whatever. Yeah. So we call him Dinky here because we get shut down, every time we say his name. So my question, what was my question again? I just missed it. Jesus.
While you're thinking about that.
Talking about Lindsey Graham and how Lindsey Graham, went to do his combat deployment. And
maybe
really,
there's compromise on him from there.
In a palace.
Yeah, he was a JAG officer. I mean, those guys, they don't even go outside the wire because we can't take them outside the wire because they don't know how to fight. They have no real combat training, and that's just how it is. There's a lot of people that go there that want to go outside the wire that don't have the training. And honestly, a lot of National Guard units are like that. They don't get the training that they need, and then they come to combat, and then and I will tell you, I remember a 19-year-old boy dying as everybody was putting him on a helicopter, and the truth is that he died because his unit was outside the wire and they shouldn't have been, and they couldn't shoot, move, and communicate. If you can't shoot, move, and communicate, your ass don't go outside the wire.
Right.
And, sometimes those units get over there and think that, let's go outside and see what it's like. Let me tell you something. Going outside in the combat zones trying to see what it's like, you better be careful because you can get bit. And Iraq was that way.
Right. Major, I mean, we still need people who don't actually fire guns in the military to make it roll, right? Like logistics and stuff like this. Look, and I understand that.
Yeah. For every infantryman and every combat engineer and every scout that's outside the wire, there's 10 people on the base that make sure that we're fed, that make sure that our mail is coming and going, that make sure that our
have the equipment
are constantly working, that make sure that our radios are constantly working. I mean, you're either combat arms or you're not.
Right.
But make no mistake about it, those people that aren't combat arms, they're just as important, because if you want to throw stones at the people that work in the Postal Service, but make no mistake about it, how important is that mail to you? Because in a combat zone, getting a letter from your wife, to me, that was the lifeline, that kept me fired up and motivated.
But then
how it goes.
I, not to be a jerk here, but I want to switch it over a little bit because I want to be like, isn't it JD Vance who worked in like the newsroom and he's like, oh, I'm a veteran, or is it, am I getting the wrong person wrong?
JD Vance sat inside of an office, and what he did was he would write good news stories. And he was he was whatever it is,
like,
writer for the Marine Corps.
Yeah,
you know,
like fluffer.
You know, he's a smart person, but you know, and once again, you know, he deployed and spent 9 months or 6 months in a combat zone. Look, I don't take that away from him, but make no mistake about it, he don't get to try to act like he's walked in my shoes.
That's what I mean.
He sat in a friggin' office and wrote good news stories, and we were outside the wire throwing it down with the bad guys.
That's what I mean. It's like, I hate the like stolen valor, if you will, when you're kind of a paper pusher.
That's what I call it.
You're a paper pusher.
If you're going to sit there and boast about your military career, be honest about it. Tell people what you fucking did.
Yeah, and be happy with what you did.
And even
if you joined the
Don't just
army,
willy-nilly throw it around out there as a fucking leverage, though.
Yeah, if you joined the army because you wanted to one day get in and one day work for the UP or the postal service, so you decided to join the military as a postal clerk. Look, just do the best you can with your job. But look, if you want to be a daggone a door kicker, a trigger puller, then that's what you need to do. You know, me, I was young, and they started talking about jumping out of airplanes and kicking ass, and that's what I did. That's what I wanted to do, you know, because I was young.
Right.
If I would have waited until I was 35 years old to join the military, hell, I probably would have been that postal guy, you know. But I was young and dumb, and I wanted to fight.
Full of piss and vinegar, right, Major?
Hell, I'm still full of piss and vinegar.
I know you are.
Major, I have another question, and that is, I can't remember his name, but he's the religious weirdo that likes Trump, and like he was. Do you guys know how I'm talking about? Is it Mike Flynn?
Mike Flynn is the military guy, but he's religious too.
No, but I might be thinking of the wrong guy. The guy that was like kind of indicted, and he would go to the like churches and boast about Trump or Dinky, I should say, during and he, I don't know, Mike Flynn, and he had a brother, and he was involved in the insurrection. I think Mike Flynn's the right name, yeah.
Probably he's retired military,
right? Yeah,
but he's also real super religious.
Yeah,
he's really a piece of shit.
I guess
what
my
he is.
question, my question originally is, he's a traitor to our country.
Yep.
And why? Okay, why wouldn't the military reinstate him so they can court-martial him because he didn't get in any trouble?
Because who's in power? That's the problem. I personally, even before Colin Powell died, he said that the military should bring Michael Flynn back on active duty and court-martial him for the crimes that he was actually, that he committed. And they didn't do it, And let me tell you something. I don't put it past the Republicans. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they pull every damn one of us that served in the military back to do that kind of bullshit. But be careful what you do. Be careful what you do. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you can only push a person so far. You can only take from people so much to the point where they say they're done.
Right.
There's a lot of people that voted for Donald Trump that are already in a world of shit. Farmers are in a world of hurt.
Oh.
All these people of color that thought that Donald Trump was going to spare them, that are now watching their friends and their family getting snatched up. You can only push people to a certain point before they finally realize that, what? You're not going to take everything from me, because if you take everything from me, I got nothing else to live for. So
got nothing to lose.
That's right. And you better be careful, because what Donald Trump wants to do is he wants to create a dictatorship where he's the dictator.
Well, this is a coup. This is another coup. Yes, this is a coup. What we are seeing right now is another coup of Elmo, whatever his name is, taking over 15 government agencies, and Dinky just relinquishing
we are
it
watching a coup take place.
Yeah.
We are watching that. But I'll tell you what.
We've been watching it since he was in office the first time.
Yes, but what?
After they stormed the Capitol.
But everybody knows how dictatorships end. Ceausescu, how'd that end? Him and his wife got drug out back, and they ended up getting shot. What happened to Muammar Gaddafi? Dictatorship. His people got tired of his shit and they smoked his ass. You know, whatever happened to Benito Mussolini? They drug his freaking carcass through the street. Now I'll tell you
hung
this.
it from a lamppost so people could throw fruit at it.
That's right. That's right. That's absolutely right. I'll tell you this. You know, whether you believe in things like Nostradamus and all that stuff, but I was watching something the other day where the people that do that stuff basically said that this is the year that friggin' Vladimir Putin is going to be taken out, and it's going to be it's going to happen from people that are in the Republic in the Russian leadership. So, you know, that's what happens to dictatorships. And if that's what Donald Trump wants to make this country, a dictatorship where everybody is just daggone having to struggle, nobody gets ahead, everybody has to stick their nose to the ground and work, and you're scared to say anything because you could lose your job and lose the ability to feed your family. But while the filthy rich people just rake it all in and don't give a shit, you know, Donald Trump just put billionaires in charge of our government. That's not going to end well. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'll give two shits. I hope and pray that they freaking do a jury on friggin' Luigi Mangione and somebody says, fuck you, innocent. Because you know what? That's absolute. Hey, I don't give two shits. I think that Luigi Mangione, what did he do? He got sick and tired of watching his mother get shit on by friggin' insurance companies that come to your house and say, hey, I want you to sign on the dotted line and we're going to take real good care of you. We got your house. We got your life insurance. We got everything. But then as soon as your ass needs them, you pay your premiums for 30 fucking years. And then all of a sudden your house burns down. And all of a sudden they look at you and they say, well, everything was old, so we have to depreciate everything. So instead of the $400,000 that we promised you, we're going to give you $125,000 and that's it. So you know, people are getting tired of that shit. People are getting sick and tired of finding out that my mother just come down with cancer. And now the insurance company says, we're out. We're out. We've been paying you sons of bitches for daggone decades. And when we get sick and we need you to step up to the plate, you tell us that you're out because it's too expensive. Those people deserve to be fucking Luigi Mangione.
Major, I know you don't know this, and I know I'm catching you off guard with this, but my mom passed on Sunday, and it was expected. She's been ill for a long time, right? So
it's sorry to hear that.
No, it's okay. But it's upsetting. But my fear was that she's in hospice care right now. So if Dinky decides to end Medicare tomorrow, she's out on the street.
Yes, and once again, I'm sick and tired of these people talking about religion because Kamala Harris wanted to allow Medicaid to cover the expenses for your parents that are sick and growing old that live in your house. She wanted to help young couples be able to afford their first home. She wanted to lower prescription drug costs, and now what we're watching is they're killing these things. And I love it. I forget his name. He did a video yesterday. And he was talking about Elon Musk gets $8 million a day from our government. $8 million. But yet, elderly people on Social Security have to live on $65 a day. And who are they going after? They're not going after the billionaires. They're going after the people that are making $65 a day and have to live on that. And once again, when you take from these people, and I'll tell you another thing too, be careful messing with the elderly people. Because they've lived their lives and they don't give a shit. They're like, look, I got a year to friggin' live anyway. I'll fight to the friggin' death. You got to be real careful when you start taking from these people. And I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of people that are starting to friggin' realize that they're in the crosshairs of these assholes. They're talking about coming after my disability. They're trying to say that I shouldn't be able to draw Social Security. Look, if you want to tell me that I can't draw Social Security, then you write me a damn check for every penny that I paid into that. Don't tell me you're going to friggin' take that shit away from me because I deserve it, just like I deserve my retirement.
And they can't do it because they don't have the money. They don't have the money because Social Security from the new people who come in to pay for it are actually paying for. You know what I mean? Like it's a wave.
The reason why they want to kill Social Security is that the Republicans have borrowed $2 trillion from it, and they don't want to have to pay that back. That's the big reason. I mean, there's all kinds of issues that's going on that's just absolutely just asinine with these people. But once again, this is why everybody needs to start paying attention. This is why I'm running for Congress, because I just can't sit back and watch this shit happen and expect, to me, it's just who I am.
Yeah.
I'm going to get into the fight.
And that's why we
I don't
love
give
you,
two
Major.
shits about these people.
That's why we love you, Major. Spiken has a question.
right.
Go ahead, or Spiken wants to say something.
Well,
well.
Look, I'm going to be in this fight. If I win, I'm going to go to the House floor, and I'm going to be arguing and fighting with these people all the time. You're probably going to hear about Richard Oetta got in a fist fight in the friggin' elevator with somebody.
Well, that's fine with us.
It is what it is.
As long as you don't take a shit.
Is. And they brought it to this.
And
See?
And as long as you don't take a
they
shit in
didn't
the
have
Capitol.
to open this can of whoop ass, but they did.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
That's how I'm looking at it.
So
You're
Spiken,
entering a world of pain.
Spiken has a question or wants to say something.
It's actually a question from the chat that I think all of us are kind of rolling around in our heads. It's from Indy Roxy. They want to know if you think that Dinky will install martial law at some point.
As of right now, I don't think so, but it depends. If something happens, and let me tell you something, there's a big possibility that things can happen. This whole thing about the Gaza Strip, first and foremost, the fact that Donald Trump is telling Jordan and Egypt that they're going to have to take 2 million refugees. Now, first and foremost, understand that the Gaza Strip belongs to the Palestinians. And they're now saying, we're going to take the Gaza Strip. And Donald Trump's such a dumbass, or Dinky's such a, dumbass, that he's literally doing this for Netanyahu. And he's literally saying that we're going to go ahead, we're going to spend the money, we're going to clear the area. Donald Trump Dinky wants to build a golden tower in Gaza. Let me tell you something. I don't care what you build there. It will always be under attack. And you're not going to push these people out, and they're not going to go quietly. And if you push them out, you are literally telling them that whatever, they've been fighting because they've been losing their land forever. Every daggone year, Israel would take a little bit more land, a little bit more land.
Yep.
This whole fight is about them being pushed off their land. Now, Dinky is saying we're gonna push them into Jordan and Egypt, and then that's going to solve the problem. That's not going to solve the problem. That's going to make it even worse, because then they're going to be absolutely more than willing to wage war on Americans that have their boots on the ground there. And that's what he'll do. He'll put American troops there specifically as cannon fodder, so that when they do get hit, then we get to do whatever the hell he wants to do. But this is a travesty. The stuff that's coming from Washington D.C. right now it's pure buffoonery, is what it is. But it's not going to work. And a lot of this stuff he's doing because he knows he can't follow through with none of his promises. He knows that the price of eggs and groceries are on their way up, and they're not going to stop. It's going to keep going. And I'm going to tell you, as a person who said that, we're going to, on day one, solve these problems, he's already lied 1,000 times, So
at least
think about it. When people can't feed their family, they're going to stop. They're going to play in this Republican Democrat stuff. They're going to start being pissed off at the people in power that are taking from them. Elon Musk has the gall to come after, Social Security. I mean, this is a guy who's got more daggone money. Elon Musk could donate $100 billion to Social Security right now and still be worth over $300 billion. And Social Security would be here forever for us. But he won't. And that's the thing. And look, people, but Warren Buffett's a good guy. No, he's not. He's got $110 billion. If Warren Buffett was a good guy, he would give $100 billion right now back to the government to go, and he could earmark exactly where he wanted it to go, and he would have $10 billion. And you know what? Still, he could live the rest of his life and have anything and everything that he wants. But he won't. Everybody wants to act like he's a great guy. If he's a great guy, then solve some problems. If you're a billionaire, solve some problems. If I am successful, I'm going to do my damnedest to try to make sure that we tax billionaires at like 90%. And I'll tell you, if a billionaire wants to get away with not having to get hit like that, then what they have to do is they have to agree to solve a problem.
Yep.
And if we will give them that problem. We're going to tell you homelessness.
Yep.
You're going to buy swaths of land and you're going to build small houses so that we can end this homelessness. You're going to pay so that we can have the care needed to be able to help these people that are addicted to drugs. We're going to do all this.
How about universal health care?
Prisons. You know, this is the kind of, we could say, okay, you, this billionaire, you're going to make sure that there's clean drinking water for everybody in the United States of America. You're going to make sure you're going to do all, you're going to spend the money to make sure everybody has clean drinking water.
Yep.
You know, this billionaire, we're going to use you just like USAID. So if there's a disaster that happens, you're going to be the one that's going to help fund, you know, these countries that find themselves.
You want to defund FEMA and you want to take all this shit away.
Yeah.
Who's going to pick up the pieces when it all crumbles to shit?
Let me tell you something. All you Republicans in Florida, get ready, because they're killing NOAA. NOAA is the organization that says, okay, we have a hurricane coming, and this is the path, and it's going to hit ground right there in the Tampa area or the Orlando area. That's going to be gone. So people in Florida is not going to know exactly where the storm's going to hit, just like in Tornado Alley as well. So, you know, so NOAA's going to be gone. So then FEMA's going to be gone. And when FEMA is gone, what are you going to do? What are you going to do when it comes in and it hits and it's bad, you know, and it wipes things off the earth? Who's Donald Trump going to, or who's Dinky going to send? Is he going to send the National Guard? Is that what we're going to do? Is the National Guard going to be in charge of all this? Because let me tell you something, that's not where you want to be.
No.
That is not. I've worked disasters. I was in Haiti for the earthquake, and then when I was still in the military, I started a nonprofit in my hometown. My last 2 years in the military, and we actually ran the cleanup for a major flood that went through an area back where I come from. And let me tell you something. If it wasn't for FEMA, I don't know what people would have done.
Right.
Because FEMA shows up on the ground. They build tents. They also get funding to be able to rent every single hotel in the area. And all these people that lost their homes automatically get to go in those hotels and they get to live there while the cleanup and all that stuff's happening.
I just want to remind everybody, yes, the Major is doing a show in 20 minutes or so. So Major is going live on his own show, and we will raid it like mofos.
Yes, everybody that's in the chat, we're going to raid the Major show.
I have another question from the chat, and it's from Groove Dragon. It says, Major, what is your slogan for your 2026 run for Congress?
I haven't really thought of a slogan, but make no mistake about it, we will definitely come up with it.
We will help you come up with a slogan because we are great at that.
Energy.
We are so awesome at coming up with nicknames.
Where's that been all my life?
I don't know. I just
look.
Yeah, with the zero dick energy coming from the White House, and you know what I mean. Like we come up with like really great stuff here at 21st Century Suffragettes. So if you're looking for a slogan, you know,
hey, you guys, let me know because I'm not against doing it. If you guys come up with something good, let's do it. But here's the thing. Benny Loco has my Act Blue link. I sent it to her on the phone. If you could post that, and everybody in the chat, look, you know what? $10.
Mark, you got that, honey? Mark,
I keep posting it. That's why I keep
our moderators are posting it, honey.
$10 is great. Any amount is appreciated. You can do monthly donations. Look, at the end of the day, I'm going to fight this battle. And I'm not going to quit. The reason why I am announcing this early is because I've got a big district and I need to get and put boots on the ground everywhere. I got to make sure that everybody in the 9th Congressional District knows me. In West Virginia, everybody knew me. They knew me because of the teacher strike. They knew me because I made West Virginia the 29th state to become legal for medical cannabis. They knew me because I got corrections pay raises. I got shit done, and I was in the minority. But I know how to get shit done. So, you know, now I'm in North Carolina. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go to Washington, D.C., and I'm going to pick fights every single day that I'm there. And I guarantee you that I can get things done. You know, I have a drive in me.
I know.
You know, and I know Benny Loco knows about this. I was struck in the back of the head with a pipe and they rolled me over when I was unconscious, and they broke 8 bones in my face with brass knuckles because they knew that if I didn't die on that creek bank, I would be the next senator in West Virginia. And I am a hard sumbitch to kill. That's just the way that it is. And I won, and I did great things for West Virginia. I'm going to do great things for North Carolina, but I'm going to do great things for America because me being a member of Congress, I get to vote on bills and push legislation that affects everybody in the country. So that's why it's important that you may not be in my district, but you can donate to me, and you can donate knowing that when I get to Washington, D.C., I'm going to pick the fights that need to be picked.
And that's why we love you, Major.
That's
and
right.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Periodically, let me keep coming back on.
And guess what,
No,
Major?
we have no problem with that, Major. We're on every Tuesday and Thursday at 2:00 Pacific Standard Time. What
Which is
time
5
is it
o'clock
on
your
Eastern?
time.
5 o'clock
Okay.
your
You
time.
just send me a message. I can hop on anytime.
And
so, have you set up for people to volunteer to help your campaign yet?
Not yet. We just now opened the Act Blue link today. I actually got I officially signed up today. And right now I've been just sending my Act Blue link to all the people on my phone. And you know, but we are, the Democratic Party here where I'm at is really active. I couldn't be happier. I went to a meeting the other day. There was 100 people showed up. Right. You know, we got people showing up. They're talking about the elections. Everybody knows that 2026 is the most important. Everybody said, oh, 2020, the next election is the most important of your life. We've said that for the last 20 years.
No shit.
But this is.
Because they have been important and people haven't fucking shown up, but they goddamn sure better this time.
It's in 2026, if we don't take back the House and the Senate, it's over. Donald Trump is never going to friggin' leave. And I'm going to tell you, you know, I honestly don't think that he's got it in him to live for the entire 4 years. But make no mistake about it, J.D. Vance, to me, I say, you know, Donald Trump's too much of a buffoon to be the Antichrist. But I worry about J.D. Vance because he's intelligent. And intelligent people that are bad people can do a lot of damage.
And he's backed by Peter Thiel, the Heritage Foundation, all the...
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So we have to win in 2026 and put these people in check. And once again, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to do everything in my power to tax billionaires at 90%. Because you know what? That's what they did under President Eisenhower. And that's how we built the infrastructure that created the highway system in this country.
100%.
So we can do so much more. We are the richest country on the face of the earth. We can do so much better for our people. But we've got to win this fight. So if you can donate to my link that Benny Loco has, please, every penny is appreciated. Believe me, you know, I absolutely, I desperately need all the help that I can. But let me tell you something. I am starting this fight today. You know, in a couple of days, my campaign manager arrives here. You know, she's moving here. She's not my campaign manager. My campaign manager is in West Virginia, but she's running my campaign in this area. And let me tell you something. She is the best of the best.
His dick is like a gherkin.
I'm sorry.
Tony.
Knock it off.
But she knows. She's been doing this for a long time. She ran Andrew Yang's campaign in Iowa. She's ready to hit the ground. She's already reached out to a lot of key people. Folks, let me tell you, we're gonna get this thing going, and we're gonna win this race. We're gonna flip a red seat blue. And once again, you know, it's just the beginning. Because if I win, that's just the start. Then I got to go to Washington, D.C., and I got to start picking these fights. And I am all about that.
Major. Taking names, Major. What do we never do with the blade?
That's it. Never let the blade go dull.
Go dull. That's right.
Major, when you're ready for volunteers, please come back and let us know. I'm actually in South Carolina.
Okay.
So I will happily cross that state line and help you in any way I can.
Well, here's what you can do. Here's what you can do, and anybody that's listening, you can go look up the 9th Congressional District of North Carolina. Look at that map. If you know people that are in that map, contact them and say, hey, would you be willing to have an event where you invite all of your family and friends to your home, and then Richard Oetta will show up and he will speak to everybody at your event. That's what I need to do. I want to start that ASAP because I'm ready.
Well, Major,
that's how you do it.
I want to thank you so much for joining us. And there's no, I mean, I know you got to go, but I do want to. Moms Russo just posted Major OJEDI's first appearance on our show on 21st Century Suffragettes, when you made us all cry and when you talked about your wife. I recommend everybody to please watch it because it affects all women, and we are the 21st Century Suffragettes, and we need suffragettes like the Major and all the men that are in our chat to support and love the women in their life like the Major does. So thank you, Major, again for joining us, and you are welcome here anytime you want.
Well,
it's such an honor.
My wife is my life, and to me, I just believe that everybody deserves to be treated with respect and love. It breaks my heart that there are people out there that are in the LGBTQ plus community, trans people that right now feel as if they have no hope. And that breaks my heart. And that's one of the reasons why this is important for us to fight. I have a friend that is transgender, and she's went through the surgeries, and she is a wonderful person, and she is scared to death right now. And you know what? Nobody in America should ever have to worry about your own government coming after you. And right now, that's exactly what's happening. And that's why it's important that we've got to all be willing to get into this fight. Do what you can. If you can't donate, be willing to make phone calls. When it's election day, make sure you drive people to the polls that need to vote. Make sure if you got a 4-seater, you fill it with everybody that you can take to the polls and make sure that their voice is getting heard. We got to make sure that people, when they vote, that their voice is heard. They got to be willing to make phone calls and ensure that their ballot actually made it. Because, I had a guy on called Greg Palast yesterday, and that video's on my show.
I know who he is. We watched his movie, and he's the one who said that 4.7 million people have been kicked off the voter rolls before the elections. Yes. We know who he is.
There were millions of people of color that did not get their votes counted. And that's what they do. And we are dealing with a bunch of racist friggin' jackaloons. So people of color should be livid about this. But once again, that's why everybody's got to get in this fight. Folks, I'm getting ready to go live. Tune in, OJEDI Live.
We will be there, honey.
8:30 Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and Facebook. I'll see you guys there.
We're going to send all of our people there, Major. Thank you so much.
Major.
Please join us again, sir.
I said it right here on your show. I am absolutely, completely supportive of friggin' women winning all up and down the damn ballot. Because you know what? The men have really fucked a lot of shit up.
Thank you for saying it, Major. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Or anybody around you.
Thank you, Major, so much. We are all going to go raid his show right now. Please say it's a 21st Century Suffragettes raid so people come to our show, right? So
I got nowhere else to go.
I love him. I love
Major's
him
my
so
man.
much.
He is my American hero. He is what every American hero looks like to Benny Loco.
Yep.
You hear me?
Yes.
That's what our American heroes look like. That's how they talk. That's how they act. That's how they roll.
I agree 100%. And we are going to go over there. No more long endings. Just do one song and let's get out of here because I love you guys so much in the chat. I'll see you guys and Benny and Wizzy and Mark and Spykin. Thank you so much. What a great show.
Thank you, everybody in
Thank
chat
you
land.
so much.
Thank you, everybody in chat land. Thank you, everybody in chat land.
Thanks to those who stuck around. Because you got...
Yeah, surprise. You never know what's going to happen over here when Benny Loco's hanging out.
Woo!
I'm tired.
We are anonymous. Anyway, I love you guys so much. Peace out. We'll see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
I get drunk every Tuesday. I play funk every Tuesday. Until night every Tuesday. I get high every Tuesday. I never try every Tuesday. I let loose every Tuesday. Wild goose every Tuesday. I take a ride every Tuesday. I nearly die every Tuesday. I get bumped
Mm-hmm.